Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm AguilaDeAcero from AguilasNest, and today we're going to make the review for Days of Infamy. This game was released on March 27th from the current year, and the best way to describe this game is to say that this game is a tactical FPS. What this means is that if you are used to play like run and gun or strafe and shoot at the same time, in this game you will have a really bad time, because the game tries to be as realistic as possible. So you will need to take cover, to lean right and left, to take cover on the corners of the building, to pop up your gun and your sights when you're trying to shoot the enemy. Having said this, you can also blind fire. It's a really good tactic in this game, but it only works as suppressive fire, because when you start to get shot from all around and from all directions, the screen of the flasher starts to get blurred, and you can see very well, and also you get slowed down. And of course you have the kickback from the gun that kicks like a mule. So you need to take all of this in consideration before you start a fight. Some of these mechanics I've seen before in games like Red Chapter. The game goes much further from those games. For example, in here you have different kinds of weapons. You know, they are the usual World War II weapons. You know, you have automatic weapons, semi-automatic weapons, manual weapons, and so on. But each kit that you play, it has a major role to fill in the game. For example, the Flamethrower. As you can imagine, this weapon is really effective in close quarters and to make toasty enemies really quick, but you need to play really careful with this kit, because if you get a shot on the tank or at your back, you explode and it's GG. And like I said before, the suppressive fire with heavy weapons is also really effective, and you need to master this technique. It's not all about shooting blindly, because you need to go prone to actually fire the weapon. So you have a lot of small details that makes the games different from other games, and also more realistic. And let's not forget also that one shot most of the time it kills you. You don't have a health bar, you don't have points of health. One shot, bam, you're dead. And you don't have crossers. You need to check on your ammunition. You need to mentally keep count how many bullets you have on your chamber, and yeah, it's an unrealistic experience. Ceasefire. Let's talk now a bit more about the classes. Like I said before, each class has a role to play in the battlefield, but also they have unique perks. For example, some classes can capture points faster, other has more ammunition, another class is specific to blow up things, you know, like a demolition unit. And the most interesting is the synergy that has the officer and the radio man, because the officer can use his binoculars to scout the battlefield and call air support, air strikes, and that sort of stuff. But in order to do so, he needs another class, another player that needs to be close to the officer in order to call the airstrikes. So this is a nice way to to mix things a bit and also focus on teamwork, because when you are playing the game you can go like a lone wolf, for example, but it won't work really well. You need to coordinate with your teammates in order to push forward, and you need to use all the classes in order to win. And let me tell you something, an experienced officer in game can turn really quickly the tide of the battle, because a well put airstrike is all you need to win the match or make a comeback. One thing that this game has in common with the game Insurgency, because this game is also developed by the same dev that make Insurgency, is that you can customize your kit. You can attach scopes, you can attach a longer clip for the gun, more grenades, you can kit more grenades in order to favor more ammo for your main gun, and so on. In order to do this, you need to take in consideration the weight of the amount of gear you are carrying, and this is something really interesting because it makes each kit, even if they have the same passive bonus like run faster, more stamina and such, you can really switch how you play with each class. For example, in one moment you just want to shoot things up, you want to try to kill the enemy, you want more ammo, or you can switch to have more smoke grenades. And this is something that is really important, because one well smoke grenade changes how you play and how you need to approach to each zone. Ah, yeah.
The Force will be with you, always.
Alright, now we have an idea how the game is, the classes, how it feels, but let's talk now about something that I really liked about this game, is the ambient of the World War II, the sound effects, the sound of the guns. It's really well done. The graphics are okay, you know, I think the game is made in the Source engine, but it's in the small details that the level design and graphics really shines. Because in most of the maps that you play, you have lots of decorations, lots of materials that makes you feel you are really there. Maybe at first it doesn't feel that is much, but when you need to take cover, when you are in a firefight and you need to take cover, you will look to some piece of metal to hide yourself, and in those moments you start to realize all the decorations that are in the level design, which is great. And of course, like I said before, the audio design of the game is really well done. It's really immersive, because when shit starts flying, guns, explosions, airstrikes, it's really chaotic. And I really like when games try to make the audio design as realistic as possible.
Blow up that room, he's in the... I killed him for you, he's good, I killed him.
Go, get in.
Holy shit! Alright, let's talk about the extras. The game has a level up system, but it's not what you think at first, because you don't unlock new weapons. All of that is already unlocked from the start of the game, so no one has an advantage over new players. No, in here, when you level up, the only thing that you unlock are skins for the weapons, badges. One thing that I really like is that you can also unlock historic regiments. For example, you have the Buffalo Soldiers of the 92 Infantry Division, the Princess Patriarchas Canadian Light Infantry, you have Airborne Divisions, the 2nd Ranger Battalion, the German Luftwaffe, Majors. And the good thing about all this is that we live in a time that we have all these loot cases, loot drops, and so on. But in this game, they try to make something different and unique with this kind of regiment's historic unlocks, and it fits really well with the game. Another extra that is interesting to mention is the inclusion of Steam Workshop, when you can find lots of new mods for sound effect, new maps, and that sort of stuff. So as you can see, the game has a lot of content, lots of extras to keep you hooked into the game. And I say extras because I think, in my personal opinion, they are just that, because the game mechanics and the ambient of the game is all you need to have fun in this game. Now we are getting to the end of the review. We know how the game plays, what the game has to offer. Okay, let's talk now about the bad stuff, the things that I didn't like. One problem that I'm having is with the performance of the game. I think the problem is with how the level design of the maps are made, because sometimes I have like 10 or 50 people shooting stuff with grenades exploding, you know, all kind of stuff in the screen. My FPS are still stable, but when I try to turn my head back and look in particular direction, that's when the FPS will go really down. I did a quick search on the forums on Steam, and other people have these issues too. I think I saw a dev saying that they're trying to improve or fix this kind of issues on the level design, but I think they reach a point that they can't really improve the level design more. So my suggestion in this case is that you need to have a really strong CPU. The graphic card is also important, but I think in this case the CPU is a bit more important. Another thing that I didn't like, but that's something of a mixed bag, is that you don't have a lot of players playing the game. I think you have like 700 on the weeks. On the weekend it goes to 900 people in the servers. The problem with this is that you need to check on the server browser in order to join the game. You have some matchmaking options at the start of the game, but usually if you want to play with real people and not with servers filled with bots, you will need to use the server browser. The real problem with this is that the game has a lot of objective-based game modes. I think there are like 10 different modes to play with. So yeah, what I'm trying to say here is that there are 10 game modes and I only play like 2 or 3 of them. I think this is because the amount of people that are playing is not small, but also it's not big enough to fill all the servers with people. Having said that, you can play the game offline with bots. You have a co-op campaign. You have different types of matchmaking options, but you know the best way in order to play, at least for me, is to manually search from the server browser. All around, I think it's a really solid game. The game mechanics are really good, the way you shoot, the way you aim, and also one interesting point is that the community most of the time is really nice. So if you are looking for an adult community and kind of good behavior in general, you will enjoy this game. So my final score for Day of Infamy is an 8.5 out of 10. I really hope you enjoyed this review, and I see you guys and girls on the next video review.